Hello and welcome to an episode filled with top collegiate stories. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
And I'm Sam Corrales. It's time for some UAAP basketball breakdowns as the race to the Final Four gets tighter. But before that, let's hear from the champions of the UAAP women's football. This is Starting Lineup.
JD! Puts it on top and hits with nice attacker three.
Gold medalist and Olympic champion from Europe.
4 straight championships. That's how dominant the Moraita-based squad has been in the UAAP Women's Football Tournament. And here to celebrate their championship with us are Sarah Jen Tulabing, Lenlen Cristobal, Jonella Albino, Jessa May Lehayan, and Coach Let Dimzon of FEU. Congratulations! We have some very nervous champions with us. Medyo kinakabahan ng konti. Mas kinakabahan pa, Coach. Ikaw hindi ka na kinakabahan, sanay ka na. Dahil nakakarami ka na. Coach, ano ba? Mamigay ka naman daw.
Hanggat merong chance.
Teka, may mic ka ba? Or sorry, yes.
So, every time na we had chance and opportunity, so dapat i-grab natin yun.
Tama. Congratulations. Okay, unahin natin yung simula nung taon. Kasi sabi niyo, pumasok kayo dito sa taon na to. Very confident. I mean, who wouldn't be with 3 championships already? Was there any difference in terms of preparation? Anything different? Did you go in somewhere na you've never been before? Yun muna simulan natin, Coach.
Actually, after the season of the 87, so some of my players played for the Capital One, which is the professional. So I think it's a good opportunity for them, chance for them to play in that level. And then during August, FEU sent us in Japan for training camp, for 11 days training camp. So I think malaking bagay kasi syempre playing against Japan team, universities and clubs. So it's a good exposure for us. And during that time na pagpasok namin in the UAAP season, so naging maganda yung start namin. So I think it's a big help or individual and as a team in preparation on that on the seasons of 88.
So kumbaga marami kayong support coach entering the season pa lang. And nabanggit nga ni Boom kanina na 4 straight championships. And in those 4 championships, may isa dyan na kinuha talaga. Namakyaw. Lahat ng championships. She's of course an MVP and also the team captain. So Jonella, unang-una congratulations. That's your captain right there. So I guess with this specific season, ano yung na-feel mo yung nag-iba compared to the other 3 championships that you've had? Or meron bang similar kaya niya nakamit yung championship ulit?
Para po sa akin, same lang naman po. Pero ngayong season po talaga, para po sa akin, smooth lang yung season ngayon kasi wala po akong na-feel na pressure kahit kay Coach Red. Hindi na po siya nagagalit sa akin. Kaya yun po yung pinagkaiba sa season 85, 86, 87, wala po talaga akong na-feel na pressure ngayong season.
Wow, interesting. I guess that comes with, success, Sam. Pero Jessa May, tanungin natin, ikaw rin ba ganyan din naramdaman mo? Kasi baka iba yung experience ng mga ibang kasama mo. Ikaw ba may naramdaman kang pressure?
Meron po.
Okay, yan. Sige, kwento mo. Bakit?
Kasi po, nung season 86, na-aksidente po kasi ako nun after ng game namin against LaSalle. First round elimination.
Okay. So kamusta yung recovery mo? At saka kaya ka ba na-pressure dahil yung sa pagbabalik mo, feeling mo kailangan magaling ka kagad? Parang gano'n?
Bali, 2 season po kasi ako nag-rest. Kaya bumabawi ako ngayong season and parang ang dami ko na parang na-left out na po ako sa kanila. Kasi, sila umaangat na ako pa, parang need ko pang maghabol sa kanila.
Yan ang pakiramdam mo.
Opo.
So yung pressure dahil sa paghahabol.
Opo.
Tapos naging best goalkeeper ka pa rin. Ang ganda din naman.
I know.
Naghahabol pa sa niyan, coach, ha? Oh, Sorry, can I borrow your mic?
During that training kasi, after we played against Lasal, so tumama siya sa goal post. So which is nagkaroon siya ng cut sa head. Tapos, ayun nga, medyo naging matagal yung recovery kasi medyo,
Delikado,
dahil
syempre.
nag-seizure siya.
Oh, you have to be sure. Wow, okay.
Well, we're so
Okay.
glad you're okay.
Yes.
And, you know, this is a very inspiring comeback story.
Yes.
Kasi alam namin na yung goals mo in, you know, that final match, it was very crucial. Kaya nyo nakamit yung championship. What was going through your head sa mga moments na yon? Did you feel, you know, relieved? Or, you know, what was going through your head nung nakamit,
Tama.
yung nakuha mo yung, I guess, tatlong...
After 2 years, tapos wala kang pinalusot.
Yeah, oo.
Na bola.
Against
Sa
Lasal.
championship po.
Oh,
Oo,
sa
sa
championship. Oh. So ano daw yung pakiramdam nung nanalo na kayo
Yeah.
ng championship, lalo na dun sa pinagdaanan mo?
Sobrang saya po kasi po parang nasunod ko na lang din po yung last goalkeeper namin si Yasmin Eloria. Siya po kasi yung nilook up ko po that game kasi nakuha niya din po last year yung best goalkeeper, so ako na din sunod kasi yun nga po parang sa kanya din ako nakamotivate, tinuturuan niya ako paano and yung binuboost niya ako lahat ng training namin.
Back-to-back best goalkeepers pala. FE. Okay, gusto ko tanungin si Sarah Jen at saka si Len. Kayo, kwento niyo sa amin, ano yung mga hindi namin nakikita nila Samat na mga ibang mga hindi nakakapanood, anong klaseng sakripisyo ang kinailangan para dito sa season na ito?
Siguro po yung sinacrifice po namin lahat, yung makakaya po namin, lalo na gumigising po kami ng maaga, so kailangan during training ibuhos po talaga namin. Kasi mahirap po kasi na binubuhos mo lahat yung effort mo tapos in the end wala kang nakukuha. So ngayong season po worth it po kasi lahat ng pagod namin, pawis, iyak, kasi minsan nagkakasakit kami, malayong mga parents namin. So, ayun po, worth it po na nakuha namin this season.
Okay. Ganun din. Anong personal sacrifice ang... Kasi iba-ibang sakripisyo, minsan iba-iba. Like, nakikita natin ano naman ang sayo na naiisip mong sakripisyo mo for this year.
Yun nga, yung paggising namin ng umaga.
Okay.
Actually, 5 a.m. araw-araw yun. 5 a.m. kami gumigising para mag-training. Yun lang yung nakakapagod doon. Yung,
Sige lang. Kaya. Para lang marinig ka ng tao, kaya game. Yung pagising.
yung pagising sa umaga, and then sobrang taas pa ng demand ng mga coaches namin sa training namin para talaga may, para may ma-commit kami sa isang training namin. And after training namin, maliligo lang kami, then pasok sa klase, ganyan, maghapon, ganun. Yun yung mga sacrifices na hindi nakikita.
Yes,
na,
exactly.
Yes.
Yung student-athlete talaga.
And then, after ng classes, meron pa kaming gym, 3 to 5 p.m. or 5 to 6.
Right.
And then,
conditioning naman.
yes, and then, sobrang, onti na lang nung time namin para makapag-rest, ganon. Tapos, same routine ulit kinabukasan, ganon ulit. So,
Pero worth it.
yes.
Worth it. Lahat
And
naman nag-agree na worth it.
Nag-paid off naman lahat.
Of course.
Yun lang.
Yan talaga ang student-athlete life. Lahat ng mga unseen sacrifices na minsan, I'm sure kung na-question ninyo, bakit ko ba kailangan, 5 a.m. twice a day training? I was a student-athlete din kasi.
Yes.
So, sobrang respeto sa inyo kasi hindi yun talaga madali. And you're doing that for 4 years. Yung tanong lagi, mag-e-extend ka pa ba?
Yan.
May 5th year pa ba? You don't have to answer that now. But
Yes.
siguro for
Pag-isipan.
Jonella, since ikaw yung captain, di ba, if given the chance, or siguro looking back at this, final year maybe, ano yung gusto mong i-share sa, I guess, rookies or sa next generation ng mga athletes sa team mo, di ba? Because you've experienced 4 championships.
Standard tama.
Yung masishare ko lang po sa, kunwari may papasok po na rookies, kailangan lang po talaga makinig sa mga seniors nila, tapos susundin nila yung mga rookie duties, tapos yung
Ooh, rookie duties. Ano kaya yun? Sige, go ahead, go ahead.
and then maging responsible din sila sa pang-araw-araw kung ano yung ginagawa, yung mga na-experience din namin before. Tapos hindi po, wag lang po sila magpasaway sa coaches.
Okay, so speaking of coach, sinabi niya naramdaman niya mas smooth this year. Sa kanya yon. Ikaw, ganun ba naramdaman mo? Did you feel that it was, ayoko namang sabing easier because nothing is easy in the UAP, di ba? Pero was there less pressure on you? Lalo na ikaw, ang dami mo ng championships. Ilan ba? 13? As an assistant coach, as a coach, and as a player.
Yes, 13 times. So, pero yun nga, actually sa akin, less pressure kasi una, with the coaching staff that I have, yung support system namin. So, as I mentioned, nagkasakit ako. So, during the time na may sakit ako, sila yung nagte-take over ng training. And then, yung mga players ko rin kasi very responsible. So, yun yung sinasabi ko, very important for a player is yung instill nila yung discipline. So, may mga tasks na before, na ako pa yung nagbibigay ng responsibilities, roles nila. May mga duty kasi sila kaya sinasabi nga na about dun sa rookie duties.
Yes.
So may mga tasks sila within the team. So sa dormitories, sa members, sa lahat. So may mga ginagawa sila na ang mga captains minsan yung nag-i-implement na lang sa mga players. So which is gumaang yung workload ko because of that. So sometimes sila na nga rin nagre-request ng mga like yung sa uniforms, yung service. So, supposedly before kasi sa akin lahat yun eh. So, mas less. And when it comes to training, kasi as they mentioned kanina, so, yung mga seniors na rin mismo yung nagga-guide na rin mismo dun. So, although, syempre, mataas pa lang yung pressure kasi as a coach, as me, sobrang demanding ko pagdating sa training. So, as much as possible, when you step in sa field, you have to give yung 100% mo eh. So, that's why, yung pressure, sa akin, I'm used to it. Pero dun sa mga new players, so sila na yung minsan na magmo-motivate sa yung mga seniors na mismo yung nagmo-motivate sa mga new players. And I also mentioned it to them na talaga na eto ako. So if
wala na kayong magagawa, tanggapin
you need to work, you need to work with me na eto ko. Pero only inside the field. Paglabas kasi sa labas, I'm normal na pwede nilang may mga times na nakikipaglokohan ako, pero iba pagpasok sa field. Coach ako.
And of course, the results speak for themselves. Congratulations. What a great week for FEU, the athletics champions. Ngayon, may champions na sa women's football, and then nanalo pa sila sa women's basketball and men's basketball. Napakasaya ng FEU this week. Congratulations sa inyo lahat.
Guys.
At sana makita namin kayo uli next year. Tignan natin. Hopefully. One more year. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Nag-iipon ng championship ito si Coach Lete. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. Right? Okay.
Thank you and congratulations again. So stay tuned, everyone. You're watching Starting Lineup. Welcome back. You're still watching Starting Lineup. You know what? This has been a one-of-a-kind season in the UAAP men's basketball tournament because there is a literal log jam right in the middle of the race to the Final Four. Now, two crucial games are about to decide the fate of half of the teams in the league. So, we brought in one of our UAAP analysts to help break down scenarios in the upcoming game day happening tomorrow. So, welcome back to the show, Paul Zamar.
Thank you. Two big shows, two big games rather tomorrow.
Yes, two big games tomorrow, and the first one is, of course, Adamson and LaSalle. Of course, let's talk about Adamson first. They're in a must-win situation. They're part of that log jam I just mentioned. So, Paul, ano yung kailangan nilang gawin? What do they have to do to beat LaSalle tomorrow?
Well, they need a closer. You know, Adamson has always proven that they can come back at any point of the game. They can push you kahit mag-overtime. But the problem with them is they're losing this guy, Matthew Montebon. I think he's their best closer. You know, in the end game, you want the ball in the hands of your best ball handler, best scorer, best playmaker for the team. So he's been inconsistent this whole season. Streaky, yeah. But I think for Adamson to make it to the Final Four, and they still have a chance.
Yes.
As bad as they have played, they still have a chance. They need the old Matthew Montebon to come back.
Yeah, we talked about that at the pregame also the other day when we did that. This is a team that is on a 3-game losing streak. At yung tatlong talo na yon, to your point, Paul, dikit lahat. 1 point, 2 point, last possession, parang ganon. If it's not Matthew, because he is the streaky guy, who should they look at? Are we looking at Erolon or Torres or Cedric or all of them, especially because LaSalle's also going to be desperate?
Isa pa, Boom, no? We were covering Adamson's game when it went to overtime against FEU.
Yan na, yung
Torres.
Correct,
I think Torres is one of their best scorer, shooter in their team. So, pag nabigay sa kanya, maybe it's his chance.
He did well the other day also. Yeah, kapos lang.
Speaking of scorers naman, talking about LaSalle, of course, it's the post-KQ era. We already know that. And one guy really stepping up, kahit rookie pa lang, si Jacob Cortez. What are your thoughts on him? And what should his role be tomorrow in that match against Adamson?
Well, Jacob is not a rookie anymore. He's a rookie veteran.
Rookie, yeah.
He won championship with San Beda. With what he did for San Beda in the championship game against Mapua the last time, I think he can do it with LaSalle. And the role of Jacob Cortez, munti ko na mabanggit, Mike Cortez. But, Jacob just have to be their best closer. Kasi they have to move on from that KQ era. And it's a chance for him to show his blood, Cortez blood, wearing the green and white.
Okay, so the last game was his worst game in a LaSalle uniform. I think he shot 2 of 14, if I'm not mistaken. So, if that happens, and with all of the injuries, tsaka nadagdagan pa, di ba? I remember Sophie Espiritu was talking about Lebron Daep, sick and all that, and won't be able to join the team. What's the option if it's not Jacob Cortez?
They have to do it by committee. Ang dami namang recruits ng LaSalle. It's not just Jacob Cortez or Motor Mike, diba? Now, wala na si Kian Baclaan. Wala na si Mason Amos. So, they have to do it by committee as a team, para hindi rin masyadong mapagod si Jacob, Maybe lighten the load. Guys coming off the bench, give energy right there. So, you just have to give your best every single time you come in.
Okay. All right, so let's go to the next team. And because we also have the matchup between Ateneo and UP, correct? So,
Battle of Katipunan.
Battle of Katipunan. Yes. Sabi nga natin. Okay, so Ateneo, they continue to free fall. Is it still salvageable, and what's the key?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Their best player have been hobbled since that UST game. I think he's been killing that game, but...
Are we talking about Bahay?
Jared Bahay.
Okay.
Sorry, Jared Bahay.
Yes.
But he's been playing hurt, but he's playing his hearts out for Ateneo. But for Ateneo to be successful, all hands on deck. Coach Tab is gonna do his best, coaching them, bringing the best out of them. But for guys, they just have to give their best and contribute in any other way. Defense, diving for loose balls. Getting second chance opportunities, all hands on deck.
What happened to them, Paul, in your eyes? Na-check sila kay Maniladi and then sila Escobar, these guys. Jaden Lazo has not found the stroke also. In your eyes, what happened to them in this losing streak of theirs?
No, they just struggled offensively, but they're defensively, they're good. They're hustling, they're getting multiple stops. But it's just unfortunate that they're struggling offensively, but also their injuries were hurt them a lot.
Yeah, Divine Adili, and then as
Be
you
under
mentioned,
control.
Yeah, that guy Jared Bahay, whom we saw on your screens.
Well, now the other team that's in control, though, well, kind of, is UP, right? They're not really into that logjam, aside from the other three schools or teams that we were talking about earlier. So for UP, I guess since Ray Remogat has already, found his groove recently in the past few games, how dangerous will they be moving forward?
Yeah,
Talking about UP.
Sorry, Sam. You see their team standings, as Sam was talking about. May separation na,
Right.
9-3. They're safely in the Final Four, but they're not yet safe in terms of the top two. Yung UST naghahabol pa. But to Sam's question, ano bang nakikita mo dito sa UP? They've completely recovered?
No, they're looking dangerous. They're picking at the right time, You always want to pick at the right time, especially when it's playoff time, when it terms of basketball. So I think UP has been pushing the right buttons as of the moment. And especially with their big guys stepping up. Nabanggit nyo nga, Ray Remogat has already acclimated himself with a guard-heavy team, You will not be short of playmakers with UP. And they need every game to get all the momentum they can get to get into the Final Four and get the top two.
Top two, kasi safe laying NU dun sa spot na yon. And then, of course, there's the one last spot na naglalaban yung UP and UST. Do you have a fearless forecast for tomorrow?
I think the first game with LaSalle and Adamson is gonna be really close because, one win can give you konting liwanag.
Sabi na naman ni Coach Nash, close na naman. Oh, okay, yes.
But, I'm looking forward for Matthew Montebon to step up for Adamson. I hope he will have a big game tomorrow, but expect Jacob Cortez to have a bounce-back game tomorrow. It's gonna be close.
Okay. So, Ateneo, no upset to LaSalle when we're talking about team standings, or can they?
It's Ateneo.
Sorry, not LaSalle. I'm sorry. Ateneo UP, rather.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Ateneo UP, it's a rivalry game.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes.
Forget Ateneo LaSalle right now, but it's Battle of Katipunan, so there's always pride.
There's always a chance.
Yeah, there's always a chance. But UP has been unstoppable.
Yeah, they've looked good. 9 out of the last 10 games UP has won. Thank you very much, Paul,
Thank you.
For your breakdown, your fearless forecast. We'll see what's going to happen in that game. UP versus Ateneo. The first game is LaSalle versus Adamson. Paul Z joining us here on Starting Lineup. When we return, we'll hear some collegiate news about pickleball this time. Exciting stuff coming your way, so stay tuned. You're watching Starting Lineup. Welcome back to Starting Lineup. Some of the biggest schools and universities in the Philippines competed in the 2025 Open Pickleball Intercollegiate Championship. Let's take a look at the highlights from the top competition of the fastest growing sport in the country.
Today, universities and colleges compete at the highest level, showcasing their athletic excellence, discipline, and the rapid rise of pickleball here in the Philippines. This is the 2025 Open Pickleball Intercollegiate Championships.
As the inaugural Intercollegiate Pickleball Championship, founder attorney Roy Ibay shared the vision behind creating this event, highlighting its role in growing the sport and providing student athletes a national stage to compete.
Since pickleball is now very popular, and deep inside I felt that even if we really didn't know whether or not the schools have their own varsity teams to speak of, it would be easier for them, and because I know that a lot of their students already play the sport. So it was just a matter of being able to coordinate the students who play the sport with the athletic offices of the respective schools.
Also in attendance was Philippine Sports Commission President Pato Gregorio, who emphasized how essential tournaments like this are in elevating pickleball at the collegiate level and how they can shape the future of this rapidly rising sport.
I'm here because I want to observe, because I know this is an intercollegiate tournament. So I want to see how we can level up, how we can develop more pickleballs, because I see that yung age group from young kids to the older generation like us, it's quite easy to play. So I want to see how we can, as I said, level up. So there's traction, so there's familiarity, so that people realize, oh, this is a good sport.
After intense eliminations and tightly contested finals in the men's doubles, women's doubles, and mixed doubles divisions, National University emerged as the overall champions, followed by University of Santo Tomas and the University of the Philippines.
Simula lang po talaga kami mag-pickleball, laro-laro lang po, then kumbaga, kasi po mga tennis player lang din kami, kaya po medyo nakakapag-adjust naman po kami agad, kaya parang practice lang din po kami. Tsaka yung ini-enjoy lang po namin yung laro namin, and siguro bonus na rin po na nanalo kami, kaya sobrang saya po namin po ngayon.
This has been Bea Escudero.
Sam, pickleball?
Yes, right across.
Right, let's go.
Thanks, Boom, and thank you everybody for joining us. I'm Sam Corrales.
I'm Boom Gonzalez. This is Vince starting lineup.